It's 10 p.m. in Banjul, and this is the news for the headlines. Best among the very best, Gambia's top referee among Africa's list of most outstanding performers of the year at the annual CAF Awards in Nigeria. Gambia Tourism Board scours the market to lure holiday makers from the Nordics and the lucrative Russian market. An ambitious move, officials say, will place the smiling coast in a stronger position against its competitors. Mission accomplished, we have got him. Words of a jubilant Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto in a nationwide address announcing the capture of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who has been on the run after an audacious escape from a maximum high-security prison. Adolf Hitler's manifesto returns to bookshelves for the first time in 70 years, but relatives of the victims of the Holocaust are furious with the decision to publish the controversial manuscript. These and other stories coming ahead this next half hour. I am your presenter, FATOUMATA JOBE. The Gambia's Bakary Papa Gassama has been awarded the Best Referee of the Year on the continent for the second consecutive year. Gassama scooped the 2015 Best African Football Referee Award during CAF's annual awards night held in Abuja, Nigeria. The 36-year-old bit of competition from two of his counterparts from Zambia and Gabon to win the prestigious award back-to-back. Papa was the favorite going into Thursday night's award in the Nigerian capital, having been in charge of most of the continent's high-profile football matches in 2015, including the finals of the African Cup of Nations and the CAF Championship League finale. Papa returned to the Gambia shortly after picking his award, and upon arrival at the Banjul International Airport, he spoke to our MS Jallo.
Central referee Bakary Papa Gassama made a triumphant return after being crowned the best football referee on the continent for the second consecutive year. The Gambian received the award at the Confederation of African Football's annual awards gala held in Abuja, Nigeria on January 7th. At a colorful ceremony attended by some of the continent's famous football figures, which also saw the Gabon and Borussia Dortmund striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang voted the 2015 African Footballer of the Year. The 36-year-old bit of competition from two of his counterparts from Zambia and Gabon to win the prestigious award back-to-back. Papa was the favorite going into Thursday night's award in the Nigerian capital. His award-winning performances has seen him take charge of most of the continent's high-profile football matches in 2015, including the finals of the African Cup of Nations in Equatorial Guinea between Ivory Coast and Ghana, and the CAF Champions League final.
The referee this evening, Bakary Papa Gassama from Gambia.
He was received on arrival by officials of the Gambia Football Federation, friends and colleagues from the Referees Association, relatives and fans. Speaking to waiting journalists shortly after arrival, Gassama said the award is for the Gambian leader and the whole country.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I am happy, not simply because of Papa, it's because of Gambia. Gambian name has been mentioned. This is the third time the Gambian name has been mentioned for the CAF Glow Award. In 2013, I was runners-up. 14, I won. 15, I won again. So it's not for me, it's for the Gambia. So Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy.
Who would you like to dedicate this prestigious award to?
To everybody, starting from the President, His Excellency. Because this thing belongs to all Gambians. It's a pride to the Gambia. We are small, and we have a small population, but we have big heart and big head. That goes to every youth that we can do it. Let's do it. It's not only Papa. It's not only me. It's for everybody. So I dedicate this trophy for everybody, starting from the President to the entire country and the Gambians outside. Yeah.
Dedicating the award to President Jammeh Babili Mansa, Papa says it's an appreciation of the President's support and the enabling environment his government has created for the youths of the country to excel in whatever good thing they aspire to do. Gassama, who met President Jammeh shortly before his maiden appearance at the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil, would be grateful to once again meet and present the prestigious award to the chief patron of Gambian sports and return gratitude for his prayers and words of wisdom.
Yes, I will be very happy, and it will happen. I will go back to State House. I told you that. I will go back to State House and meet the head of state again.
Papa's achievement is a major victory for Gambian football, and leading the tribute is the Gambia Football Federation president.
The feeling is just like for any other Gambian. I think Papa just mentioned it. The achievement is beyond Papa and is beyond the Gambian Football Federation. It's the Gambia. I think we are here, as we said last year, and we all hope and pray, and with confidence that we expect that this will repeat itself, and it has happened. And now, if Papa also should follow the footsteps of those ancients and then achieve this in the name of the country, I think it's just keeping the Gambian flag high.
It is a joyous moment for all Gambians, football and non-football fans alike, who were united in congratulating the award-winning referee for making the Gambia proud on the international stage.
We feel happy as referees because we work with him every day. Every day we train with him, and then we learn so many things from him. This is something that he has worked for, not for anybody's help. But we have to thank also the Almighty Allah for giving us the health, giving us the strength of doing all these things. Papa doesn't want the trophy. I want the trophy. I'm the happiest man today in the Gambia, and he has said it already. We have delegated this to the president. We know what the president did for us. That's what he said. We know it very, very well. And then we are very, very, very happy with the president. We are very happy with him. And then let the Gambian expect more Papas coming. Because we are working hard to reach at that level.
The latest award adds to Gassama's glittering career, which has seen him become the first Gambian to officiate in 3 consecutive African Cup of Nations, the FIFA Club World Cup, the Olympics, and football's flagship event, the FIFA World Cup, and the list goes on. Grts Sports.
The Director of Marketing at the Gambia Tourism Authority has reaffirmed his office's desire to explore new markets, particularly the lucrative Nordic and Russian markets. Adam Njai made his remarks in an interview with GRTS with a focus on the recently held tourism board shows in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Babakar Senghor reports on that.
Russia, one of the world's newest frontiers and thriving economies, is churning out record numbers of wealthy middle-class citizens. The twin effects are visibly clear. More Russians with money and increasing spending power, and a curious and willing population eager to explore the world as holiday makers. This vast market is the newest frontier for destination exploration, and the Gambia is leading the charge to lure Russia's holiday-starved population to the smiling coast. A Gambian delegation led by the Minister of Tourism and Culture was in Moscow to attend a 2-day Moscow Tourism Roadshow late last year. Among the members of the delegation was the Director of Marketing at the Gambia Tourism Board.
If you look at the Russian market, they are the largest outbound travel market in Europe, after Germany and the UK. So it was a good, it was a tactical move for us to go to Russia, and they have a very high spending power. And I think penetrating Russia for us have given us a different approach. And one of the things that we actually saw was they're looking for exotic destinations, which Gambia has abundant. And this is the time that we think is trying to penetrate. And to go further to that, we have made the conclusion, and of course, with the support of the executive, that we are going to appoint a PR and marketing firm in Russia to promote Destination Gambia in 2016.
This high-level convergence attracted players in the hospitality industry, both from Russia and parts of the world. The minister and delegation held talks with stakeholders, among them marketing experts and travel and tourism journalists.
Well, to be honest, Gambia is not particularly well known for the Russian travelers, but that's why there was such a huge interest towards the country, and we had very good attendance of the event, and people asked a lot of questions, and all the Russian women were immediately in love with the delegation. And yes, we hope this is the first step of Gambia to this market, but I'm sure that in the nearest future you're going to see more Russians traveling along the Gambia river banks.
Blessed with an array of unbeatable tourism products, much of it natural endowments, the Gambia is on the move to improve and diversify its tourism potentials, backed by a strategic safety in focus. Adamanja again.
Competition is stiff, and Gambia cannot sit back, because if you sit back, other countries are really pushing. I can give an example. Senegal, over the years, we are not even attending the World Travel Market in England. This time around, they're next to us to tell you that they're ready to penetrate other markets, and that is what we're doing.
What are you doing to fend off some of those stiff competition?
Well, the stiff competition is we have to be continually aggressive in our marketing. We're not going to sit back. We have to, every year we have to push something. Where we stop, we push it. Because that's the only way. Other countries are pushing, we're going to continue to push, because we are not going to sit back. If we sit back, other countries will take over. And that's not us. We have been aggressive, and we continue to be aggressive. And I can tell you, by the time we settle down in Russia and the Nordics, it's going to be a different ball game for this country.
And Russia's lucrative market is now open for exploration, while destination Gambia equally prepares for the arrival of its newest holiday makers from one of the world's most powerful economies.
The timing is right. The timing is right for a number of reasons. One, it is right because, as we all know, supposedly Russia is on a down now, but we do not doubt the potential of this great nation. And I think the economy is going to turn around. There is no doubt about that. And I think this is the right time to come and promote. And I think those sentiments have also been echoed by the people who were present during the session that we have here in St. Petersburg.
With the Gambia seemingly exploring new markets, coupled with the demands to remain highly strong and innovative in a very competitive market, events elsewhere, particularly the instability in the Middle East, has earned the Gambia the ace card in luring holiday makers looking out to spend the winter break in a more relaxed and peaceful environment. This unique selling point, Adamanja explains, has now armed the Gambia with the right tools to cast in on this window of opportunity. For Grts News, this is Babakar Senghor.
Residents around the Bruce Beton table are now free from trekking far on Fridays to attend the Muslim Friday congregational prayers as a mosque sponsored by Alhaji Sidi Cisse was inaugurated and opened for prayers. Buba SMCC reports on that.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Masjid Quba, according to scholars, was the first mosque where prayers was first observed during the days of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and soon after the Prophet's declaration that brought an end to the war of sword. He left Muslims with new methods of jihad, which include the building of a mosque for Muslims to comfortably worship Allah, and other peaceful ways in helping Muslims and bringing new converts into Islam as the new method of fighting in the name of Allah. From then to date, Muslims around the globe who have the wherewithal follow the prophetic preaching in waging a peaceful war in the name of Allah. The latest person to embark on such is Alhaji Sidi Cisse, who sponsored a mosque at the Brusubi turntable that was on Friday open for prayers. The event was attended by venerable Islamic clerics and preachers. Preacher after preacher, the well-versed scholars such as Kebu Cham, Dr. Jah of the University of the Gambia, Sidia Alujane, Baba Cisse, and many more spoke on the importance of such an endeavor in Islam, noting that Allah promises anyone who built a place of worship for Muslims a very beautiful home in Jannah. Dr. Jah reminded Muslims of the 5 pillars of Islam, while Ustaz Kebu dwelt on the upkeep of the mosque, noting the committee should avoid anything that is not Islamic in the mosque. Sidia Cisse, representing the Supreme Islamic Council, posited that wealth is a gift from God, and whoever is blessed with it should spend it judiciously in Allah's cause. Imam Sheikh Omar Cisse, who led the congregation, narrated the significance of building a mosque. He, however, reminded Muslims about the hereafter, noting all this wealth we gather shall one day be left here and we will go back to our Lord. He advised Muslims to prepare for that day as it is unavailable. Buba SMCC, GRTS.
A number of volunteers from Josuang and members of crafts market vendors headed by Elijah Abdullahi Bojang on Thursday descended on President Jammeh's Farato farm to harvest rice. Janke Ture saw the volunteers in action and she filed in this report.
They turned out in their large numbers to help harvest President Jammeh's rice field in Farato. These volunteers have been active on this farm, and their efforts have not gone unnoticed, as the farm manager used this interview to extend gratitude to the volunteers for their continuous support. The volunteers are mobilized by renowned wrestling promoter under his highly acclaimed Ablo promotion. Many of the volunteers hailed from New Josuang and the rest from the Palmarima Craft Market Association.
First of all, thank God, and thank the president, for initiating all, this farming activity that is happening in the country, especially this 2016, Vision 2016. And this is where we are also coming to support, because the only way he can do is pave the way out, and we implement. So we are here to implement this farm. You can hear from the manager himself, the farm manager, because this farm was delegated to us, and since initially, we are the guys that are doing it. We transplant, we weed it, and now we are on harvesting. And also my people, Josuan people, definitely they are not, they don't do eye services, because probably you know me for so long, but you never know that this is what we are doing. So we are always here, to work, and definitely they are very committed to the president, and also we are wishing the president, Happy New Year, to create more and more things for Gambia, as he always do it.
Let people come and help us. Because for today, maybe applause people, maybe they can finish it, maybe they cannot finish. Because if they don't finish this today, that means Saturday when they are here, Saturday or Sunday, I will say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That means I'm finished with Farato. Now my main problem is Kato and Daslame.
Other speakers, among them Alkali Baji, president of Palmarima Craft Market Association, Fatou Sen and Jenaba Barrow from New Josuang, both reiterated their love for President Jammeh. This is the third time these volunteers have converged on the Farato farm to help in harvesting the rice, which is due for harvest. They say the effort is meant to complement government's development initiatives, which include the drive to attain national food self-sufficiency. For GRTS News, I am Janke Ture.
We will be back with news from outside the Gambia after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Mission accomplished. We have got him. Those were the words of Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto after the world's most wanted drug lord was recaptured. El Chapo, or Joaquin Guzman, made an audacious escape from a maximum security prison 6 months ago. His jailbreak was a massive embarrassment for the government of Mexico. We have details in this news report.
The face of Mexico's most wanted man. Joaquin Guzman, also known as El Chapo, is now in the hands of authorities again. After a raid on his safe house by Mexican Marines, a shootout, and a chase through underground drains on Friday, the drug lord was returned to the same maximum security prison he escaped from 6 months ago. The Mexican president praised the authorities for tracking him down. We have conducted an extensive law enforcement and intelligence operation that has lasted months. It enabled us to uncover and dismantle the network operated by these criminals and make these arrests.
La red de influencia y protección de este delincuente.
Drug cartels have plagued Mexico with violence for decades. Between 2007 and 2014, more than 160,000 civilians were killed. Guzman is the leader of the Sinaloa cartel, which U.S. authorities say is the biggest drug trafficking organization in the world. He was arrested in 2014 after 13 years on the run. But in July 2015, he broke out of a maximum security prison via a 1.5-kilometer tunnel. The drug lord climbed through a hole in his shower and then fled on a motorcycle mounted on rails. His ability to escape twice has been a major embarrassment for Mexican authorities. Now the government may decide to extradite Guzman to the United States.
Adolf Hitler's political manifesto is back on German bookshelves 70 years after it was banned at the end of the Second World War. The huge demand for the book has surprised the publisher. He insisted the highly annotated book is designed to debunk and refute a hateful idea. We have more in this DWTV report.
Arrived. 50 copies of Hitler's Mein Kampf, or My Struggle, ordered by Munich book dealer Michael Lemling. He now plans to sell this most notorious and most dangerous of all German books. It's an extremely hateful, inhuman text. It is anti-Semitic, it is racist, it is militarist. It's the worst thing we've got lying around. But I believe that it's worth it to analyze the text once again. Adolf Hitler wrote the book in 1924, without a ghostwriter, all by himself. The essence of his thinking is all inside, hatred of Jews and his desire to expand Germany's territory eastward. Now, Munich's Institute of Contemporary History has republished the book, but this time with commentary and thousands of footnotes. This edition exposes Hitler's scattered disinformation, as well as his outright lies, his many half-truths that were purely aimed at having a propagandistic effect. Even so, the very idea of Mein Kampf being back on the shelves of German bookstores is shocking to many of the Nazis' victims. Many members of the Jewish community were against the republishing. I see in the letters I received that there's heated discussion on this, and that for many it's simply inconceivable, and I have to agree that this book is being made available again. Yet the book has indeed been available all along, but only in used bookstores or outside of Germany or on the internet. That's why historians feel that selling an annotated version is justified. Censorship is, in the long run, nearly always futile in a free society, and it only helps to create a negative myth. Yet the new edition never even made it to the shelves of some bookstores, as interest is huge. 15,000 copies have been pre-ordered, yet only 4,000 were printed. Now more copies are to be published. Most booksellers know who their customers are. It's often historians and teachers who are interested in the new annotated book, and not neo-Nazis.
Tensions in Cologne are running high on a day of rival protests over the mass sexual assaults on New Year's Day. More than 1,000 right-wing extremists, including members of the anti-Islamic Pegida movement, have gathered in the city center. They are facing off against counter-demonstrators from leftist and anti-fascist groups, and the police are in the middle with 1,700 officers keeping the peace. Details in this news report.
Pegida supporters out in force at Cologne Central Station, the place where just a week ago New Year's Eve celebrations turned into an ordeal for so many women. For the far-right Pegida group, the events of New Year's Eve are proof that Chancellor Angela Merkel's asylum policy is a disaster for Germany. It's also a chance to air their message outside their weekly anti-immigration marches in Dresden and show that they're a national force. Just meters away, separated by rows of police in riot gear, there's a noisy counter-demonstration, organised by a broad coalition of civil society and anti-fascist groups. They say the vast majority of asylum seekers have nothing to do with these attacks and don't deserve to fall under general suspicion. Earlier in the day, an estimated 500 mainly female protesters held a flash mob on the steps of the city's cathedral to protest violence against women. I expect our politicians to get tougher on criminals who do this kind of thing, wherever they're from. Not just towards asylum seekers, refugees or migrants. We need justice, and we're here today to show our support for the victims. That's a message that seems to have been heard. Even before today's protests got underway, Chancellor Merkel announced that her government would tighten the rules and make sure migrants convicted of serious offences are deported faster.
We take our second break now. Sports is next. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The German Bundesliga is on a break for another 2 weeks, but the teams are all back in training. Turkey is one of the most popular destinations for warm weather training. Hanover and their new coach, Thomas Schaaf, hope the Turkish delight can help revive their season. We have details in this news report.
Encouragement is probably the first goal for Thomas Schaaf at Hanover. Schaaf took over as head coach during the winter break to try and save the relegation-threatened side. In the first half of the season, Hanover only managed to pick up 14 points and are currently 17th in the table.
Look, everyone down there in the table believes they can get away from the relegation zone. It's difficult, but I think if we work properly, then we will be rewarded for it.
Schaaf is reunited with Leon Andreasen and will look to him for on-field leadership to reach the team's objectives. He coached the defensive midfielder while at Werder Bremen. Recent loan signing Adam Salai has been brought in to boost their forward line.
Maybe we still haven't really seen what he wants to do and what he can do. We haven't fully appreciated his skills yet.
Hanover, who returned to the top flight in 2002 and have been there ever since, resume their season against Darmstadt in 2 weeks.
And from sports, we now join the Weather Center for the day's weather outlook.
The Gambia is endowed with a wonderful landscape full of baobab trees. Like its Cape Point in Bakau, it is one of the most exotic sceneries in the world. The baobab tree is a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and resourcefulness. For the baobab tree provides good food in times of hunger, rents its bark for medications, and its sap for glue. In the Gambia, there is a company like the baobab tree, 100% African and purely Gambian in all aspects. In know-how, design, value, capital, and management. That company is Elton. Elton, employing hundreds of Gambians and proudly associating itself with development in the Gambia. Elton, side by side with the Gambia.
Hello, this is the weather report from the Central Forecast Office, and we'll begin with a summary of the day's weather conditions where we experienced warm and sunny conditions across the entire country. And during the day, we now move on to the satellite image where we can see dry and stable conditions over the Gulf of Guinea states and elsewhere in Central and parts of Eastern Africa. You can see convective clouds and prevailing across these regions, and this is eventually going to cause rain, lightning, and thunderstorms over the affected areas. But tonight, we're expecting dry atmospheric conditions with mainly clear skies, and for tomorrow, we're expecting dry, sunny, and stable conditions in the morning, becoming warm and in the afternoon. During this period, we'll experience northeasterly winds, and they will be running at a speed of 10 to 25 kilometers per hour. Minimum temperatures will be 12 degrees Celsius over Upper River region, going up to 13 degrees Celsius over Central River, going up to 16 degrees Celsius over Lower River, whereas North Bank we can see 17 degrees Celsius over this area, dropping down to 15 degrees Celsius over West Coast, whereas Greater Banjul areas will record 18 degrees Celsius respectively, and this will go up to a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius over Upper River, Central and North Bank, coming down to 34 degrees Celsius over Lower River, going up to 35 degrees Celsius over West Coast and Greater Banjul areas will record 33 degrees Celsius respectively. At 4 a.m. we'll have a low tide of 0.3 meter and 0.2 meter at 4 p.m. At 10 a.m. we'll have a high tide of 1.6 meter and 1.8 meter at 10 p.m. Wave height will be 1 to 2 meter high and there will be northwesterly swells. The sun will rise at 7:34 and sets at 18:52. That's the forecast, and good night.
And before we take leave of you, a recap of the day's main stories. Best among the very best, Gambia's referee is among Africa's list of most outstanding performers of the year at the annual CAF Awards in Nigeria. Gambia Tourism Board is scouring the market to lure holiday makers from the Nordics and the lucrative Russian market. An ambitious move, officials say, will place the Smiling Coast in a stronger position against its competitors. Mission accomplished. We have got him, words of a jubilant Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto in a nationwide address announcing the capture of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who has been on the run after an audacious escape from a maximum security prison. Adolf Hitler's manifesto has returned to the bookshelves for the first time in 70 years, but relatives of the victims of the Holocaust are furious with the decision to publish the controversial manuscript. That's all we have for you now. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news at 8. I am your presenter, FATOUMATA, JOBE.